Live from Dead Pit Studios South. Welcome to No News is Good News, where the news comes first, even if it sucks. Your shitty news reporters are Uncle Bill, Stuntman Mark, and Rambo Rough Life.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of No News is Good News. It's Christmas Eve. It's really close to Christmas. What better way to celebrate Christmas than to talk about really shitty movie news? I can't think of any better way, really. You be wrapping presents or being with your kids or shit. No, there ain't no sense in that. Let's talk about some of the worst news to come out in the last fortnight. But anyway, before we get started talking about all that, turn your attention to my direct right. We have one of the leading experts on the subject we're going to talk about, though, which is the X-Files, of course. Stuntman Mark, how you doing, man?
I'm good. How about you guys?
I don't know how I'll be doing after we talk about all this shit, but right now I'm all right. It's almost Christmas time. And, of course, below me, a man who's done 2 streams in a row tonight. I don't know how he does all this shit. He did that last night with me, too. Of course, the one and only Rambo Raff. How you doing, man?
Doing well, not too shabby. The water heater situation is getting better. Was able to move some stuff back in here, so can't complain too much other than all the stuff we're going to be bitching about in about 5 minutes. That's all this shit. But other than that, happy to be here.
This is going to be interesting, man, because I think everybody here pretty much knows. Anybody that's watched our show for any amount of time pretty much knows that we're huge X-Files marks. And I'm not even going to bury the lead. I'm not even going to save this story for the last story or anything like that. I think that we should just talk about it. So, I don't know how many people are familiar with this story. It just came out a couple days ago or something? Maybe 4 or 5 days ago.
Well, it got announced, or I guess maybe even leaked by Chris Carter a few months back. We covered this briefly on a show a while ago, but it's come back around again. You know how you guys see stuff like that on the internet, you see a headline pop up.
Yeah.
This person and that person may be involved, stuff like that, and then it kind of goes away. And I expected the same here. I'm like, well, if Ryan Coogler's involved, maybe that's just for right now. Projects like that come up and then they go away. So I figured this was the exact same thing. There's no way he's involved. And if he is, it's just conversation. But it's come back up again. Usually that means that it's probably going to go forward. So
for people who aren't aware of who this guy is, because I really wasn't, I had not really heard of him. Or at least I didn't know the name, but I knew the film that he was most known for. So, Ryan Coogler, the guy that's kind of taking the helm of the X-Files, is also the guy that probably is most well known for Wakanda Forever, which he co-wrote and directed. And that film went on to receive, I think, a bunch of Oscar nominations. And as the story goes, they're essentially rebooting the X-Files. I don't know what you would call this. It's been rebooted 10 times, but to be, and this is what they said, or this is what he said, and I'll read his quote in particular off here, explaining what he's planning on doing with the X-Files, because I really don't want to misquote anybody. Says, there's a new version of the X-Files from Ryan Coogler, and he says, I just spoke with Ryan Coogler, who is going to they said remount. Yeah, that sounds about right. Remount the X-Files with a diverse cast. So he's got his work cut out for him because it covered so much territory, Carter said. This is Chris Carter. And the one thing that's funny about that most to me, he kind of says it without saying it, is that the X-Files was one of the most diverse shows of that time, I think. In terms of the cast, what it covered.
Yeah, aliens, Bigfoot, bat creatures. How diverse did he get? pretty much
Yeah.
diverse to me.
So terrified of this for some reason because I just think this is going to be the worst shit ever. But that's just me because anytime anybody leads off with the statement that they're going to make something that's diverse, that pretty much to me means like the only thing we're going to fucking concentrate on is that it's diverse. That's going to be like the main thing, the main thrust of the show. So that's always scary.
Exactly. They did not talk about the story. They did not talk about what the characters, as in personalities. It was only that buzzword of diversity. That's it. It's like that's the only that you think of, as if that's the only two reasons. It's a popular IP, and we could be more diverse because that worked well for Disney. You see how much money they're making nowadays. So, what do you think, Mark?
A part of me thinks the same thing that you do. It's already diverse. The franchise was very diverse, and even if we're talking about race, sexual orientation, all of that was in the original franchise.
Yeah.
There were gay couples. There was a transsexual in season 10. I mean, like, there were Asian people, there were black people, purple people. I mean, like, what more could you
Kirsch,
do?
Stephen Williams.
Right.
There was Kirsch. There was Stephen Williams. Your favorite Kirsch. I know you love that character.
But it just feels like a ploy. I mean, it's not anything that's going to be good, I don't think. I mean, I'm pretty sure in his mind he has the best of intentions, but like, oh man, Disney producing is always a red flag for me. Doesn't matter what it is.
It's very, very scary because, like, number one, you know, you're not going to have like a balanced fucking movie. You're not going to, and no, you're probably not going to have a vision either. And if they do have a vision, it's going to be like a propaganda ish kind of vision. That's what's going to be sad about this too.
I said before, I need to have Bigfoot in the Ku Klux Klan. That was these happen in this new show.
No, we don't need that. It's a crossover we don't need, Matt. Crossover event of the decade. Let me tell you, that'd be the funniest shit ever if they did that. Like, they had some sort of fucking, like, you know, alien Nazis or something like that.
Well, I mean, they had an alien in the KKK already. Remember in season 9?
God, they did, yeah.
Not season 9, sorry, season 7. But like, that was actually one of the better episodes of that season, and I don't see them topping that. So, I mean,
but here's the thing. Here's what's funny about this story. Like, the X-Files was masterful at like tackling those kind of subjects without like throwing it in your face. And the fact that they're doing this just destroys that whole thing to me anyway. Like, I don't know how they're going to do it. Maybe they fucking pull it off. But the track record for shows that like do this shit is awful. Like, so far, I'm not positive if a show like has taken another show and like done this kind of thing and made it successful, like diversified the entire cast or whatever, and made like taking an old show, brought it back, made like diversified it completely and made it successful. I can't think of one. I can think of a ton of ones that fucking shit the bed, but I can't think of one that actually fucking worked.
Exactly. Jordan Peele tried to do it recently with Twilight Zone, and that's already gone.
Didn't you say, was it you that said Quantum Leap?
Yeah, there's a Quantum Leap reboot that tried to be more diverse,
which I hadn't even heard of it.
Yeah, Martin, you probably haven't heard of it either. I think it was it came out. There's a season or so, and nobody's heard of the show. That's how successful it is.
Wow,
it's just. So I was looking at. I just wanted to see what Coogler's filmography was. So he's only really done 3 films that are notable.
Creed.
And he did Creed, he did Black Panther, and he did Wakanda Forever. So I think probably all those films were successful.
Yes.
But it's not like he's a fucking tried and true filmmaker or anything. It's not like he's got a long filmography to look at. Like,
In their eyes, it is just Black Panther. I mean, it didn't deserve it, but it got a Best Picture nomination. I don't think it deserved it. Blade was a better movie than Black Panther. That didn't get no Best Picture nom. Wesley Snipes go up there with his weed and accept the Oscar. I would love to have seen that.
Wesley Snipes ain't accepting shit except like a tax notice. That's all Wesley Snipes is accepting.
and his prison sentence for it.
A subpoena. Yeah, he'll accept that. So I don't know. What are the odds that this is actually decent? Let's give him the benefit of the doubt and say that, like, you know, he can clearly make a film. Okay.
Yeah.
But this is also not a film. This is, I'm assuming it's going to be a TV show.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's a show.
Which is a whole different.
See, I don't
ballgame.
think he can make a film though. That's it. I don't think he can make a film because I think
Man.
it's totally worth it.
God damn.
You
I
didn't
thought
like Black
Creed
Panther?
saw it.
He's not going to give him any of it.
Black
All
Panther was like it was a crappy Lion King wannabe. He was a pansy in his own film, Black Panther. I dare anyone
That's a
that
hot
watch
take.
Black
You just-
Panther watch the ending, that fight where they look like video game characters from PlayStation 2.
Yeah.
With the good guy in the background fighting, everything's computer, and it Mark, did those effects look like they were PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3 maybe, PlayStation 3,
It took
like the big
yeah. It does look ridiculously fake. I will agree.
Best Picture nom. Best Picture.
So, all right, let's see what.
Yeah,
let's take a-
I just laugh at Black Panther, all the accents and everything. It's so ridiculous. You know, none of them talk like that. It's just so funny.
Let's look at the chat though, because people think that we're not doing this live, but this is all the way live. It's Christmas Eve. I promise you, it's fucking Christmas Eve right now. So, the mayor says the diverse truth is out there. Darren says that intro that we had with Santa is the more disturbing than any horror film he's ever seen. Bog Zombie says, are we talking about X-Files or Cocainum? Probably both. Ali P says that every film Ryan Coogler has made is not as good as even the worst X-Files episode. Damn. Some Ryan Coogler.
I
hate
agree
on
with
here.
that.
I don't think he's that bad.
I agree with that
That's all.
sentiment. I agree with that.
Did you like Creed, Matt?
I like the band, not the movie. No, no, it was rocky but done bad. Like the lead character is such an awful, like egotistical prick. It's like Creed, the unlikable prick, and it's just like Stallone. He just puked and had cancer, and he was nominated for an Oscar for it. And I'm like, I thought he did better in Rocky Balboa. I thought he did better in Copland and many other films. And I mean, I love Stallone, but
Same.
no, I didn't like that film.
I thought it was okay. I'm not going to say I hated it.
That's
I'm
cool.
also not going to say. I will say that I thought that Rocky Balboa was probably the best thing that Stallone has done since coming back and doing his whatever, like with the Expendables and that and Creed. Yeah. I think that's probably the best thing that I've seen him do. But Creed was not, to me, wasn't awful. I'll be honest with you, I've never seen Black Panther. I've never seen the movie all the way through.
You got to watch it.
But listen, I've never seen about 90% of Marvel movies, so it's not anything to do with anything else. I fucking hate Marvel movies in general. So,
well, you got to see Black Panther, Best Picture.
They did it with Picard. That's another thing I haven't seen. Is any of those Star Trek reboot series?
Yeah,
I'm assuming that they diversified Picard.
Yeah, they made
it's like live, motherfucker.
Stewart, like
Merry Christmas, bitch.
Patrick Stewart was. They just made fun of Patrick Stewart for like the first half of that show. and just like called them names and stuff.
I'm at a Christmas party, but garbage day, motherfuckers.
Nice.
Very nice.
Red car. Good point.
Nice one, Doc.
Yeah. He got my favorite line of that. I was watching it earlier tonight. My favorite line of the whole fucking movie. It's where he goes, "My old lady didn't have enough money to put me through college. So you know what I did? I got a job." Just like that. It's like, yeah, dude. Like, it's not that big of a fucking deal.
Oh, it's so good. So good.
He's like so intense about that. It's like, I mean, yeah, 99% of people did. It's not that big of a deal.
When did you first see that movie? Part 2. I mean, probably VHS.
It was when the DVD came out. When Anchor Bay,
Okay.
I think
Same.
released that DVD. Yeah. And like immediately, like Wes and I knew that it was a fucking classic. Like there was we've been talking about that movie since probably 2006 or 7. Like there was no doubt that movie was a classic.
Oh yeah, cinematic gold.
Mm-hmm. Christmas Bloody Christmas. I love Christmas Bloody Christmas. I really do. I love the last hour of it. Was it you that was telling me about that, Mark?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I warned you about the first 30 minutes.
He's 100% right. Matt, have you seen it yet?
Mm-mm.
The robot.
That's the robot
Santa
one?
movie? Yeah. So
No.
you were 100% right. Like I thought for sure that I was watching a Rob Zombie movie the first 30 minutes of that movie.
Yeah.
Because it's just nonstop motherfuckers and bitch and just
Mhm.
I mean every sentence that they say is something like that. It must set a record. And I was like getting ready to turn it off, and then the fucking Santa shows up, and from that point on, nobody really talks that much, so it's 1,000 times better. But I don't know who decided to make that movie that way, but I mean, a lot of people are just going to turn that film off before they even get to the part, and it's actually pretty good after that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it has a really low budget, but I mean they stretched the dollar. I didn't expect the explosions and all that stuff. Like it's got a really fun premise to it. I mean, standard slasher fare, but like that central character with the cyborg Santa.
Yeah,
that was cool.
Yeah,
really
great.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah, the first part of the movie is like Rob Zombie directing Clerks. It's exactly what it's like. Yeah, that is 100% what it's like.
Cool.
Little known fact though, Rathammer says you can say motherfucker in the mirror 3 times and Rob Zombie will appear.
That's very possible.
Fucking hell. There's like 400 to 500 F words in Christmas. Like, that's true.
And the movie's probably like 88 minutes or something.
Yeah.
Like that.
I knew this going into it, Mayor, but yeah, Christmas is directed by the guy who directed it, which I liked VFW too. So that explains.
I like that one. That's cool.
Watching it in 45 minutes in, and good God, the dialogue is crap. Yeah, keep going. Just keep watching.
Yeah, just
like if you can just hang in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
People stop talking. That's the thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
when
the
Santa
dialogue
shows up.
It's few and far between all the lines for sure.
Yeah. So I watched, speaking of which, real quick before we go into the next news story, I just got done 5 minutes before we doing this show watching Silent Night, the John Woo.
Okay.
Silent Night. Did you see it already? Did both of you guys see it already?
Yeah, I did.
Matt, have you
No.
seen it? Okay.
Not yet.
It's okay, but there's something missing in that movie, man. Like I don't know what it is, but
any sort of signature style.
Yeah, I mean, there's a little of it. Like there's a couple of scenes where, like, there's one scene where I think it's like a teardrop or something turns into a bullet, which I thought was pretty cool. And there's another scene where like you can see through, like he's shooting like at a target and you can see through it and it gets closer and closer. So there's a couple of scenes like where you can tell it's like John Woo, but overall there's something missing in that movie just in general. Like I don't know if it's a lack of any kind of like characters other than the main one that you really know anything about, and he can't speak, so that's a spoiler alert. That's the whole premise of the movie,
but neither can anyone else, which makes no sense.
I flipped through it. It looks decent enough. I mean, but I mean, I've heard like the worst of the worst, so maybe Maybe I'll
It's
end up liking it.
It's not the worst of the worst.
No, it's just not great. It's just kind of like
Right.
there.
Yeah.
I don't know
Okay.
I don't know what to equate it to, but I mean, you've seen a
Just
million movies just like it. I'll put it
Yeah.
that way. There's nothing special about it.
because I heard of the gimmick before that it was a silent movie. That's what he was going for. That's why no one speaks because he wanted to make. And I actually that gimmick is interesting to me. So I don't. We'll see. I mean, with the movies that come out this year, who knows?
Yeah, I mean,
It just doesn't have much replay value.
no, I'll never watch
Hmm.
it again. I can tell you that. But
And that's
Right.
not something that you usually expect from John Woo. It's
Maybe
quite
needed
the
a bigger
opposite
budget.
usually.
Maybe a
No,
bigger
I think
budget.
it
I
was
don't
the
know.
script. I mean, it
Hmm.
just, I don't think he really added much to it. I mean, it's very much like he shot what was on the page, and that's kind of it. Like, other than like
Hmm.
a few visual flares here and there, like, there's not anything to. You've seen it all before. That's the problem. And even premises that you have seen before can still be interesting, but there's
Mhm.
nothing there action sequence wise where you want to revisit it. It's just
no, and there's a
it's
lot
just
of
passable.
really
It's just good enough, basically.
there's a lot of really like I won't say they're crappy, but they're just prolific like VFX stuff, CGI. A lot
Mm.
of bullet CGI shit and just
Mhm.
CGI all over the
Mhm.
place, which I hate. And it just look like no matter
Yeah.
how well they do it, it just looks fake. And
Yeah.
there's just not a lot going on in that movie that's great. And the movie hinges completely on that one guy to carry it, and he's okay, but he's not really like. I mean,
Yeah.
I'll put it to you this way: in the pantheon of like action films where the main title character can't speak, Willy's Wonderland is better. I would go back and watch Willy's Wonderland before I would watch this movie again because Nicolas Cage
I
is
would
like
see about.
insane in that movie. It's basically the same character, but I just think he does it better.
I would see it, but I believe you already because I really like Willy's Wonderland. So I
Yeah.
saw the rest of your stream. That there's Stream Factor released a 4K of that for some reason, which
Yeah, I
I
was
got
like,
the movie. I don't need a 4K of it, but
that's an interesting one to have a 4K of. I thought, yeah.
and I agree, it is much better than Five Nights at Freddy's because that movie sucks. So this one's a lot better. But I mean, I don't know. I'll give it a watch. I mean, I'm one of the guys that like the Death Wish remake with Bruce Willis, so
I
we'll
didn't
see.
mind it either. I mean, I think you'll have an okay time with it. I don't
Yeah, I
think
don't-
you'll be
Yeah,
bored
just
to
okay.
tears or anything.
It's not
Yeah.
boring. I'll say that. Yeah.
No.
Hope You
But
Burger
it
says,
should have been better.
does it have a shitty ending? It has the exact ending you know it's going to have from the first 5 minutes that you watch it. Like that's all I'll
Yeah.
say.
So kind of like Death Sentence with Kevin Bacon.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Merry
I mean,
Christmas, Wild Wrangler.
Yeah. What's up, Wild Wrangler? Yeah, it's very predictable in that way. You already
Like-
know the ending before it happens.
Yeah, I knew like exactly. Well, I didn't know exactly, but I knew one part of it that was definitely going to happen when, like, by the end of the movie.
Okay. I'll give it a watch sometime though. Oh, I fucking like Paycheck with Ben Affleck and John Woo. I even like that fucking movie. I know. I did.
So, does anybody have anything besides the X-Files? Because that was the big one I had planned on talking
Well,
about.
we talked about this the other night, but I guess it's not good news. And this way to hear Mark talk about the 4K of True Lies and the mannequin, Jamie Lee Curtis and everything, the AI algorithm, what's your feelings on that, Mark? You ready for that True Lies? Bit of mannequinness.
I'm very, very
Madness.
disappointed. I couldn't believe it. I think that was Mike who first mentioned it to me.
Yeah.
It looks really bad. Those screenshots are awful, but I hate to say this, I'm probably going to buy it anyway. I don't have any copies of it. Like I know there's a Blu-ray floating around that people have said looks okay. Don't have that, and the DVD is worse than shit. So I kind of don't have a choice, and I love the film. It's in my top 5 Arnold movies of all time, so I'm gonna have to get it. I'll
Well, you could
suffer
always
through.
find Johnny. You'd always find Johnny Depp in the seas, the open seas. There's always that. But I know what you mean. You're more in the physical. I am too, but I can't
Yeah.
condone that crap. It just they're
Yeah.
ripping people off without. In my opinion.
Yeah, I wish that wasn't the case, of course, but I mean, what choice do I have? Like, there's nowhere else to watch it, and I would like to own the film. So,
So, in your opinion, Mark, why do you think James Cameron went that route? Yeah, I know he hates grain, but how do you see that and go, that's good for release? But how do you prove that? Like, do
I'm
you
not
not
even
have
sure that he's stuck
eyes?
around. I think he's too busy in Avatar land. He doesn't really care all that much. He hears that there's a new technology, it's a good medium. He always wants to be on the cusp of what's next and the new piece of tech for anything. So it seems like that would be the option for him, like regardless of what he already thought was best. This is the new thing. Let me go with that. I'm going to try this out. This will work. I don't think he approved it because he didn't watch it. I think it just says that he approved it. I can't see Cameron sitting there and watching a digital restoration of a film like that. It just
And he did the aliens as well. I guess the Abyss looks fine from what I heard, but I don't know why. Like Titanic, I've heard looks good. The Abyss looks fine, but then Aliens and True Lies look like crap. I don't know why. It's like this whack-a-mole. Like pick and choose which looks okay.
I don't know
Flip a
why he
coin.
couldn't just use the transfers of, like, say for instance with T2. He did that in 2017. I saw it in the theater. It looked fantastic. I had no issues with it. But then the release that I think that was Studio Canal, they put it out. That release does not look like what's in the theater, and I have that one. It does not look the same. I don't know where the disconnect is with that. I don't know if they got a different transfer. It must be. I don't know. It's just it looks horrible in my opinion. It's not the absolute worst 4K ever, but it is not a great representation of what the film can look like, and I know does look like from the transfer that I saw in the theater.
I'm just looking at some of these pictures, man, and they fucking kill me. I just can't. Dude, okay, real quick, we got a super chat here. Let's get through real quick. Bobby Reynolds says, rank the Banana Splits movie, Willy's Wonderland, Winnie the Pooh, Bags of Money, and FNAFs.
Five Nights at Freddy's.
No, Five Nights at Freddy's.
Willy's Wonderland is the best of them.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, or as I call it, Bag of Money. Because they took a lot of money from people. Because that movie, that could not have cost anything more than $10. It took a lot of people's money, and it got getting a sequel. That has to be, for me, the worst.
I'd agree. I haven't even seen all of Five Nights at Freddy's. I've seen clips of it, but never watched it all the way through.
I saw it at the theater. It's awful. I would go Willy's Wonderland at the top. Banana Splits movie, I liked. If you're talking about the horror version, thought it was pretty good. FNAF and then Winnie Pooh. FNAFs was shit. I call it FNAFs because the kids call it FNAFs. Fucking.
I didn't know you saw it in the theater. Okay,
I did. I took
because I know that was digital as well.
You talking about Five Nights at Freddy's? Yeah, it probably was at the same time. Yeah,
the kids wanted to go.
Yep, they're big Five Nights at Freddy's fans. The video.
How did the kids like it?
Game. Of course they
did. The kids like it?
They're kids. Yeah, there's been very few movies I've taken them to where they've been like, "Oh, this sucked." Like they just love everything that comes out.
So, what was your thought? Sorry, I'm going off tape, but what was your thoughts on that movie? Because I know you haven't reviewed it, so I know why it sucks. But your thoughts on why it sucks?
Oh, Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah.
It was just overly long and boring, and it reminded me a lot of like Willy's Wonderland, but less like with less action, more like stupid characters and like it just wasn't good. Just very, very dull film.
You didn't like the guy having the same dream 7 times because he goes to sleep while working?
I don't think I liked much about it. No.
Yeah, it's very tame.
I got to show this though. Let's just do this real quick because we've talked about this before. And we're gonna get into Scream 7. By the way, I'm fairly certain that one of us had Scream 7 as a thing anyway.
Yeah.
So don't worry about that. But real quick, people talking about True Lies on here. I'm gonna share my screen because this fucking shit kills me.
Oh boy. Prepare for the nightmare.
Let's see.
It's funny. James Cameron made a movie about the dangers of AI and Skynet. Now he's shaking hands with AI and Skynet.
So the picture on the left is the I guess the Blu-ray or the DVD. Yeah, it's probably the Blu-ray. The picture on the right is the new 4K. Look at that fucking shit. It looks. I can't.
Like he's an action
really,
figure.
It.
Like he's an action.
I'll tell you what the problem.
Yeah.
The problem with it is too is the hair. The hair looks like it doesn't even belong. It looks like it's been photoshopped on his fucking head, and so do the clothes. Like there's something about it that's so off. Like if you look at it long enough, like you start to just see it. Like just how weird it looks. And that's not even the worst picture, but that's one example. Hold on.
It's like a Ken doll.
I can... So here's another example. If I can get all this shit to quit moving around on here. Golly. There's 15 fucking things on the screen. Quit that shit. Go away. So I don't know. I can maybe make this bigger. No, I made it smaller. Not what I intended to do. Fuck. Anyway, you just take my word that also looks like shit. Okay, so this version over here, on the left, looks decent. Looks like a decent Blu-ray. And then somehow or another with the fucking 4K restoration on the right, it's like it sucked all the color and everything out to where everybody just looks plastic and just, I don't know.
It says in the paragraph below that the actor's having a too smooth appearance. But it looks better in motion than it does in the stills.
I guess. That's just disturbing.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to say it.
Well, because James Cameron wants to make these old films look like they came out today for some reason, because he has such a bug up his butt about grain for some ridiculous reason.
Yeah, it looks like something that was done completely on like Photoshop or Cool Edit or something like that, or Final Cut Pro. Yeah. I don't know. There's one picture, and Matt found it for me, but I haven't been able to find it online for myself, of Jamie Lee Curtis is probably the worst one. But anyway, point of this being is that I just pray that somehow or another this looks better in, like you said, in motion than it does in this shit.
That's what they say in this paragraph, and apparently it was just only AI enhancement rather than an original negative scan. So just go with what works. You don't need to
rough,
use,
man.
Just because it's a new piece of technology doesn't mean you have to go with that.
But you shouldn't have to say it doesn't look that bad. It should be looking great. Because these films never even got a Blu-ray like True Lies. So and then if that's what you're going with, then what the future, when these films are released on whatever other platforms of the future, they don't be using that one, that AI waxy version. And either they don't get worse or new people don't see it, they don't go, is this what people were praising? Why does it look so weird?
Yeah.
And they're not going to know.
Now, it would be a different scenario if he didn't have access to the original negative, but it's James Cameron. Like, if he
I'm
wanted
pretty
to
sure,
get
yeah.
access, he could. So, we'll see.
Love the stuff bucket, Mr. Shea
Oh,
says.
thank you. Very nice gift from a nice subscriber named Corey. Got Larry Cohen's autograph. May he rest in peace. Great writer director. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
very generous of him.
Yeah, that's
Apparently,
basically
this was in the movie, I guess.
Oh, that's cool.
Mortician makeup. Yeah,
That's what it looks like. Yeah.
it does.
Have any of us seen Iron Claw yet? I have not seen that. I want to see
No.
it.
I really do want to check it out. I do like that director. Sean Durkin, I think is his name.
Yeah.
He did that film back in 2011 that was pretty interesting. It was like a psychological thriller drama. It's called Marcy May Marlene, starring Elizabeth Olsen, back before she'd done like any of the Marvel shit. Everybody was like, oh, there's another Olsen twin. It's like, yeah, there is. It's really good, though. If you guys haven't seen it, check it out. It's a fun movie. Well,
Sure.
It's not fun in that aspect. It's a good watch, I'll say, because it's somewhat downbeat. It's about a cult and her escaping a cult.
Cool.
Check this out. Here's some news that's not at all surprising. Eli Cortez says, I got in the church 4K from 7 yesterday. I was expecting a thick box set, but it was just a thicker 4K case. Yeah. I mean, probably could have told you that.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's Severin.
Severin's not really well known for giving the people anything they want.
Not even Dick Demons.
No, no, my Dick Demon looks like he's fucking surfing at this point.
He's flaccid.
So what do you got, Mark? What were you thinking?
You mentioned Scream 7, so I was
Yeah.
actually going to bring that up. So Christopher Landon has left the project.
He's left the building. Mama.
It is now dead in the water. They don't have a director. Although I'm sure they'll find one by the time next year starts or whenever they start pre-production. But I can't imagine that it'll be really even next year now that I think about it, because you'd probably want to have the script in place, and without your two original leads, whatever plans they had or script they had in the early stages has to be scrapped by now, right?
I would think so, because they lost like pretty much everybody, didn't they? I mean, they lost Jenna Ortega. They lost, I forget her name, that was the
Melissa
main,
Barrera.
Yeah, Melissa Barrera, that was the main kind of lead.
Yeah.
They just need to fucking quit making these fucking movies, man. I know they're not going to because they still make money, but it's like it's like a sign. There should have been a sign, all this together. Like it's time to stop.
It definitely is. I mean, the last two films have probably been the worst in the franchise. I know that people have minor variations on that stuff, but for me, those last two are not even canon almost. Who
That's
cares
true.
about that new cast?
No.
I mean, you kill off one of the last great remaining characters in the fifth film, and you got two characters left that honestly I'm not really that fond of. I mean, I know Sydney's the whole deal, but
She's the whole fucking show. She's like Rob Van
yeah,
Dam.
just
She
but
comes
it's
in.
just-
She's like,
yeah.
just gets a pop and then leaves. That's her gimmick now.
But her story's been told. It's over. Just move on and leave it alone.
I think they missed a golden opportunity in part 6 to have her ass show up and just murder everybody, be the killer, murder Gail, and then fucking get killed in the end of it. I would have been happy. I would have been happier with that. I would have been like, holy shit. Like, I can't believe they did that. rather than just some bullshit. It's just two people that you don't even know anything about or care anything about that are on the new cast that are the killers, and who gives a fuck?
Well, I mean, it would have been more of a holy shit moment, but would you have really wanted that looking back at the first 3 movies?
Yeah.
Really?
I wanted to set her on fire, throw her off a cliff, cut off her head, do whatever it takes to keep these movies from being made. Just fucking kill. If they kill her and like the rest of that cast, the original cast, there really is no nostalgia factor anymore. And they can't keep making these fucking movies. They just have pretty soon, man. They're just gonna wheel her out there in a fucking wheelchair, and she'll just be like, ah! And then there'll be like people in the audience be like, yeah, they brought her back. It's just at this point, it's completely pointless.
Yeah.
But I wanted to read this quote because this is pretty funny to me too, Mark, about what the director said. And I can imagine this is probably true too, about, his time with the movie and everything.
Oh yeah.
So
I
he
saw that
says,
too.
he says, this was on, I guess, Twitter or some shit like that. I guess now's as good a time as any to announce I formally exited Scream 7 weeks ago. This will disappoint some and delight others. It was a dream job that turned into a nightmare.
I bet.
But he says, I have nothing more to add to the conversation other than I hope the original director, Wes Craven's legacy thrives and lifts this den of a divided world. I guess he's talking about the movie. Or maybe he's just talking about the world in general. I don't know. I'm curious, it had to be studio shit. That has to be what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if he's going to make a film and then your 2 stars that probably whatever script they had are now gone, so then you're sitting there going, well, okay, what film am I making now?
Mhm.
And I'm not making the film I signed up for. I do credit that he quit. I mean, I liked his Happy Death Day movie. I think that's the same guy.
Yeah, that's him.
I do
Yeah.
credit that he quit. I do credit that he quit because most people would have just ate it, kept with it, and said, hey, I get paid and it's on my filmography. Win,
Mhm.
lose, or draw, it's still on there. And there was a lot of people that would have just sucked it. They would just make shitty movie. But I appreciate that he quit. And I appreciate that he was being honest. And yeah, I'm sure the studio has some hand in it too, but because they're the ones that fired the actress. It was the studio's call.
Yeah.
The lead actress.
Yeah, Melissa Barrera, yeah.
Yeah.
Because
So,
she
I
said
mean,
something
that wasn't
about
direct-
Palestine. I'm pretty sure that's what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that wasn't the director's choice. So you're supposed to be the commander of the ship, and your main star is now gone for whatever the story would have been. You would assume she would have been front and center of it.
Mhm.
Well, then, what else? Imagine that
I
you're
mean-
making a film, whatever film you're directing, and then your main star is gone. How much that story's now changed? You can't just plug someone in and have the same story. It wouldn't make sense. Granted, these movies haven't made sense in a while, but
You got to think too. These movies were bad enough when they actually had time to plan them out. So now, like, you got to fucking change midstream everything that you're doing. Can you imagine how shitty that next one's going to be?
Mhm.
Like, it's gonna, it's gonna be a giant clusterfuck too.
Well, it's rumored to have Patrick Dempsey come back.
Oh,
I know
good.
you're excited for that.
Yeah, can't wait. I think Scream will be a standalone sequel with a new cast. It about has to be at this point. Yeah. I didn't think Jenna Ortega was worth a shit in any of those movies. I don't think I've seen anything that I liked with Jenna Ortega except for Wednesday. And in that, she really doesn't have to do a whole hell of a lot. So
yeah.
Scream died with Wes Craven. That's kind of true.
Yeah.
Very surprised people like these new Scream movies. I thought they were awful fan fiction. That is kind of what they feel like.
I agree.
Fair point.
Eli Roth for Scream 7. I couldn't do any fucking worse. Let's see. We got a $5 super chat here, though, from Prestonsburg Santa Claus, who says, I love Emma Roberts when she went full Wile E. Coyote, harming herself at the end of Scream 4. Yeah,
Oh,
that's probably
yeah.
like the best part of that movie, really. That and Hayden Panettiere. Pantera.
Panettiere, yeah.
Yeah. I don't call her Hayden Pantera with fucking, yeah.
And she changed a
Thank you for
lot
that,
in
though.
Scream. I know you guys talked about this before, but she changed a lot in Scream 6. That Hayden, like, I don't know what happened.
Oh yeah, she did. Yeah, I
Her
don't know.
acting was just not there.
Well, she had been gone from the acting scene for like almost a decade, right?
Oh, it was brutal. Yeah. To watch her in that movie. It was the same feeling I got when Ellie Cornell came back for that. What was the movie where she came back? Like she hadn't acted in forever. I think was it House of the Dead 2 or something like that? She
Oh yeah.
she came and I was like, holy shit, this is like she didn't even know what she was doing at all. And I've seen that happen over and over again. Like if you're out of that for too long, like you just
Mhm.
forget how to do it, I guess, like anything else. But it was brutal to watch Hayden Pantera in that. It really was.
Yeah.
So let's see. Thanksgiving. Let's talk about Thanksgiving. This would be fucking killer. Get Brandon Cronenberg for Scream 7. I want to see that movie. I want to see that combination. That'd be awesome.
I mean, yeah, they're gonna make it anyway. Why not?
Good God, man. Yeah. But I wanted to talk to you guys too about because Scream 7 is going to be a mess. We know it's going to be a mess, and there's been a lot of horror films released this year. So what I thought we would do now is just I'm going to go through them, not all of them, but the more significant ones that we might have all seen. I just want to get your all's opinion on them because it's kind of like a year review because I don't even think we're probably going to do that on the show. So might as well do it now.
Okay.
So let's see. I can start. I wonder if there's a site that has them listed in like by date released. That would be nice. I know there's some that list it by alphabetical. Hold on.
Yeah, earlier I was looking at a site that did have like a top 10 list for everything from the year, and it was not a great year.
No,
I didn't agree.
It was not.
I did not agree with at least 75% of what they had on the list.
No.
So that says a lot.
Oh, here we go. There is actually one. Okay. No. Oh god, this fucking sucks.
Oh yeah, super chat.
Oh, hold on. I'm on an entirely different side.
Motionless Zombie. Yeah.
Motionless Zombie says, with Nightmare on Elm Street's 40th anniversary next year, do you think there will be an announcement? I highly believe so, most likely a TV series. We tried every way in the world to get Michael Felsher to talk about this, and he denies everything, of course, like he always does. But the truth is, like, if they're going to do anything, they have to do it this coming year, because nothing else makes any sense. And I think at the very, very least, like, didn't Dumhouse get the rights to Nightmare on Elm Street somehow or another?
Jason said he was working on getting the rights, but I don't know if he actually acquired them yet or not.
Well, if he does, then you're about guaranteed there's going to be a TV show, probably a TV show.
Oh, yeah.
Something. And, yeah. So, but I think we'll get a 4K of the first film for sure, like another one. I don't know about a box set. I don't think that's coming. I feel like somebody somewhere would have leaked that shit by now if that was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I don't give a fuck unless it's like a box set. Like, because the movies I really want to see like that would be the third and the fourth one. Hell, maybe even like the sixth one. So I mean, in terms of like seeing it in that kind of high definition.
I need Goo Goo Dolls. Yeah, high def. I'm awake now.
Need fucking Super Freddy, Super Shredder Freddy. Let's see, we
Yeah,
got
I
those
agree.
super
A
chats,
box.
though.
If
Go
it's
ahead.
not a box set, then I don't. I mean, I agree with you. If it's just a 40 of the first one, no. A box set, because of the horror franchises, that's the one that deserves it. Because it doesn't have a good box set. To have 2 movies per disc is ridiculous for that franchise. It doesn't help the picture quality. There's a good documentary, Never Sleep Again, but the box
Oh,
set
yeah.
itself is nothing for features. It looks ugly. The cover looks ugly. It's pretty much a silhouette of the remake of Freddy. So,
Yep.
Yeah, it's
yeah, it
incredibly
deserves
cheap,
it.
and for a franchise that deserves so much more or so much better. I mean,
Actually, cheap as hell.
Okay, so we got another super chat, which I don't even think I can put this up there, but I'll read it. If Brandon Cronenberg directed Scream 7, would Ghostface kill someone by blanking them off while they are peeing? That's a great scene in that movie, really.
yeah,
It's fucking like, you talk about a scene coming out of nowhere where you're just like, what the
yeah.
fuck? I was watching that and I was just like, they're like, are they doing this? They're totally doing this right now.
Yep.
There's a lot of scenes like that in that movie, by the way.
Yeah.
So I can't find something that will. So we'll just go through these fucking things by alphabetical order. I'd love to find one that just does it by like the start of the year, but I cannot. If anybody knows where that would be, send it to me, but I can't find it. Okay. So we've got from 2023, Beau is Afraid. That's the first one that comes up. That I don't even know if you classify it as a horror film. I never saw it. A lot of people are talking about it. It's an A24 release.
That's right.
I know it's Rambo's favorite film of the year by far.
Oh my god!
I can't believe they let him make the movie. Like, it's. Go ahead, Rambo. I mean, everybody's dying to hear.
Wasn't it like
what you have to say.
no? Wasn't it like 2.5 hours long?
Yes,
Mark.
it was.
I mean, I like watching Phoenix depending on the role, but that didn't not need to be 2.5 hours long. And it's just a guy being crazy, and half of it didn't make sense, and it leads up to him going to an attic, and there's a literal monster that's a literal penis with a little pair of balls. Literally, that's it. And I know symbolism and be my guest, but it symbolized me being pissed off. That's what it symbolized. And it just fuck A24 horror movies. They fucking hate them. It's
How
like,
fucking
I know
dare
you guys like
man.
them. That's cool.
How dare you?
They're just so full of shit. Like they just nobody acts like a human being. For me, this is just me. Hereditary, the fucking kid with the Burger King crown, and the Midsommar, where people are dying, but we're complaining about math tests and who stole my thesis paper, and someone did a MacGyver to inhale some smoke at the beginning for some reason. Even MacGyver would be like, "I'm impressed. That's an intricate setup." I'm like, what the hell? No, that one with crown. Where the hell the?
So wait a minute. Are you
I don't
saying? Are you
care.
telling me, Matt? Are you telling me that Hereditary Tony Collette you down?
Yeah.
You see what I did there?
Exactly.
You see what I did?
That was great.
But it's just not my taste. So Beau's Afraid. If people like it, that's fine too.
I've never seen it, and I'll never see it. To be honest, like it's for number one. Like I hear so much bullshit about it, but it's just too fucking long, and I don't have the patience at this point in my life.
Mm-hmm.
So the next one in alphabetical order is Cocaine Bear, which I did watch and thought was just fucking there. Like that's the best way I can describe that movie. It existed. It wasn't anything great. Ray Liotta looked like he was about to die in the film. Like I mean, he really did. I think he
Yeah.
died not too long after that film, but he was not in good shape in that film. It's just something about that movie. It didn't. None of those movies like that really worked, though. Have you noticed that? Where they try to make those like comedic concept kind of movies like
Mhm.
that, they just never work that well. I
Yeah,
didn't
that
think.
one I agree with you. It was there is a good way to put it because that one, number one, the director, she's the same person that did that Charlie's Angel reboot that no one watched. That was a
Elizabeth Banks.
poor choice for, yeah, that was a poor choice for director. If you don't do that film, why would you get Elizabeth Banks to do it of all people? Because I don't think she gets that kind of horror humor, at least anything from her past. And it felt like it didn't go for it. It felt like half the movie was, or most of it wasn't even about the bear. Like the
Yeah.
bear was like a cameo in his own movie.
That's a good
And
way
I
to
think
put it. Yeah.
for that kind of movie, you wanted the go for like Willy's Wonderland. It went for it. It went crazy. It went over the top. It had that fun vibe. Here, it's like they were almost afraid to do that. So it was more about drug deals. Right, Mark? Drug
Yeah.
deals.
Yeah. It should have went further. I mean, if you make a film that's that high concept, just go for it, and it kind of didn't. I was expecting a lot more out of it. Not even necessarily from an entertainment standpoint, just for them to go crazy with the idea. But
I think
just
that's what's
didn't.
missing. Like if you make something that fucking crazy, right? Like that idea, it's that
Mhm.
crazy. Then you should pay it off with the audience, right? Like it should be
Yeah.
like just totally insane. And it really wasn't.
Just
It
like
was
this,
real tame.
just like this movie, The Stuff. It's about killer yogurt, but it really went for it. You got
Yes.
Larry Cohen behind it. Like
There's a lot of
you
killer
need
yogurt
someone like
scenes.
that
Yes.
behind it.
Let's see here. Another Prestonsburg Santa Claus super chat. Favorite Gaspar Noé movie? I think I'm going to introduce my Nana to Irreversible. I think you should.
Oh,
First.
no.
That movie is off the
Well,
chain.
make sure you film it first and post a reaction to YouTube.
Yeah. Do y'all have a favorite movie?
Uh,
I don't remember what all he's done.
maybe Enter the Void for the visuals. It is very much like a psychedelic melodrama. I mean, that's what
Enter
he
the
was going
Void,
for.
by the way, is an awesome Black Sabbath song.
Oh.
That's Into the Void. I'm sorry.
I was about to say, I think it's
It's close enough, Mark. Damn it. You know, they really got the concept right, though, with Meth Gator. I will say that. Crack Octopus was okay, too, but Meth Gator was really where it was at. Cracktopus would have been a great.
what was the other one? Heroin Zombies or some shit like that?
they probably made that, yeah. I don't think I've seen many Gaspar Noé movies, to be honest. Like, I think Irreversible might be one of the only ones that I've seen. Let's see.
Yeah.
He did Enter the Void, Climax, Irreversible, I Stand Alone, Travis Scott video. Yeah, fuck that shit. He did Vortex, which we've still got to watch. That's the one that has Dario Argento in it as an actor.
Mhm.
So I've still yet to watch that, but we got to watch that soon anyway. So I'll let you know on that one.
Yeah, we need Meth Head Sasquatch.
This killer Crackoon. That's an awesome idea. Oh shit. Okay, so up next in alphabetical order of shit that we possibly might have seen. Five Nights at Freddy's. Sucked ass. I don't know. I mean,
I
know
agree
you had to
everything what
watch
you
it.
said earlier.
yeah, I know you had to watch it, Matt, and I'm sorry. That's all I can say. Godzilla -1. I have not seen that, but like everybody and their mamaw says it's the best fucking movie ever made. So
I've heard the same. Haven't seen it though.
Haven't
it has
seen
has the worst title of all time. I'll say that.
it. Yeah. I don't know why it's called -1.
Could have come up with anything else. Infinity Pool. I think me and Mark have seen that. Rambo, did you ever see it? That was Brandon
I
Cronenberg's.
think I saw it.
Mia Goth opus.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember much about it, honestly.
Alexander Skarsgård.
Unfortunately, I remember a lot about it. It haunts my dreams. Like I just fucking will wake up from a cold sweat like sometimes and just think about that movie.
So did you like it? In
I
that
don't know.
way, or
I don't.
no?
That's the problem with Brandon Cronenberg's movies. Like I don't know if you can come out of those movies and be like, I liked it or I hated it. It's just like you come out of those movies like, what the fuck what happened? Like, what did I watch? That's the way I always come out of his movies. I don't know if I liked it or hated it. I don't know how I feel about it. I just know I was confused and terrified a lot through it, and just like, so I guess it's good in that way. Like it's completely different than anything else you'll see.
Yeah, that's the way his stuff is genuinely. I mean, he does come from a place of originality, so I can appreciate that.
Yeah.
And I like how he doesn't over explain things in his films, like the technology in that movie. You have no idea like how that works, how that even came about, any of that stuff. You just know it exists and it's just there and they're using it. And you get these characters thrust into this situation that they were clearly not ready for at all. And then it's just a lot of Mia Goth doing crazy things like she seems to do in all of her films lately. But
Let me tell you something.
I didn't mind it.
That's one chick that's down for anything. Like I've never seen any other actress that's just like, what do you need me to do? I'll do it. Yes, let's go. Like shit. Yeah, it won't be too long till CK will be in here. I'm pretty sure Sarah's gone to bed, so give it about 5 or 10 more minutes. Let's see what else we got. Insidious, The Red Door. I fell asleep on this movie like twice. I hated it. I thought it was fucking awful. They need to quit making those movies too. I'm sick to fucking death of those movies. I'm also sick to death of Patrick Wilson. I don't care about Patrick Wilson anymore. Please stop making those goddamn movies. Thank you.
What did you feel about the earlier ones of Insidious?
The first Insidious, like CK and I saw at the theater, and it was one of those situations where we were like, I think we were both taken aback by how effective it was, and like in certain scenes, like we were generally kind of freaked out, like. And then like the second, it just goes down in quality, like just steadily fucking just goes down to the point. I'm trying to remember which one it was. Was there one called like The Key, something about the key? Or
that was the
something
fourth
like that?
one, I think.
When I watched that one, I was like, this is fucking just shit. At this point, it's like, it's just, I had like Lynn Shay in it mostly, and she's running around. I'm just like, who gives a fuck at this point? I feel the same way about the Conjuring universe. It's fucking.
I think he knows when to get out of those franchises, James Wan. Like he did the same thing with The Conjuring. He did the first two and then he got out of it and went on to something else. He doesn't overstay his welcome in really any of his stuff. I mean, same for Saw. He did the first one, started doing other stuff. I mean, he doesn't really seem to stick around much for any of those bigger franchises, but I like his other stuff a lot. You know, Malignant. I've talked about that several times. I love that. I'd much rather watch that or Death Sentence or any of his others. I don't know. Like the first Insidious is okay, but I don't ever go back to it. Same thing with the second one. It was fine, but it was of lesser quality compared to the first film.
Now, I will say this.
What about Aquaman? You like Aquaman, James Wan?
Fuck up that Aquaman. God damn it.
I mean, of his bigger, like, budget, heavy-duty studio stuff, I'll probably watch Furious 7 over Aquaman. I don't hate it, but I don't go back to watch it.
Mark's a big...
It's just there.
Amber Heard Mark.
Hey. she's hot in that movie. I'm not gonna lie. I don't care what she does nowadays.
She
With-
shit the bed hot, didn't she? Yeah.
Hey,
She's one of
she
them people
can
that
go in mine
Yeah.
right now. I don't care.
she's so hot, but like the baggage that comes with that, like, yeah, she's gonna be shitting in your mother's purse. It's gonna be a whole fucking situation. You mess around with Amber Heard. Are we doing on Iron Claw on the road? I certainly hope so. In the very near future.
Oh, yeah,
Mm.
definitely. You guys got to do that one.
Let's see. Me either, William. I've never understood that. I do not understand those movies.
Yeah, they're they're definitely not for
About
everybody.
family. It's about
Yeah,
family.
there you go.
Our family. Fuck. Yep. Here's the problem, though. I hate Vin Diesel. That's the biggest part of the problem. Like, I fucking hate Vin Diesel. I've never seen a movie with Vin Diesel in it that I liked. Not one movie. Pitch Black, that, fucking The Pacifier. What? Not the Pacifier. That was with Triple H. What was it? Was he in the Pacifier?
No, he did
Was
the
that-
pacifier.
Okay.
He
What
did
was the Triple H
pacifier.
for? The Chaperone? Was
The
that the one he
Chaperone.
did? Okay.
Yeah.
Basically the same
Yeah,
fucking movie.
What about the F. Gary Gray movie he did?
I take that back. There's one movie that has him in it that I like. Saving Private Ryan. He's-
Oh yeah, yeah.
He's only in that movie for about 5 minutes though, and he gets shot. So that's probably why I liked it. Trying to save French girls. That's what always ends up happening. All right. I don't know what that means, but it sounded good at the time. Knock at the Cabin.
It was okay. I mean, with M. Night Shyamalan, it was okay because I like Dave Bautista. He was really good in it. I liked his performance. I liked it better. It was okay. I liked it okay. I would never rewatch it, but it was okay for me.
What's up, Tony? Yeah, same.
Oh, what's up?
Like the best part about that whole thing was Deacon Batista, and
Deacon Batista.
I just I'll never ever let that go. I think that it could have gone. I tell you what, it reminded me of. That movie reminded me of The Hateful Eight. Like, I love The Hateful Eight all the way up to the end, and then I'm like, at the end, I was just kind of, what the fuck? Like, it could have gone so many different ways to be like who that could have been, and like who could have been doing that, and then they just kind of went with everything. Like they played it too straight down the middle with no surprise or anything like that, other than like one like minor thing. And I kind of felt the same way with that movie. It's like it just stayed. There was nothing. It just stayed the same way that you thought it was good, like through the whole fucking movie. And I'm kind of just like, well, that's just kind of a letdown by the end of it. At least to me, anyway.
Same.
I was just glad I didn't do another like, oh, I gotta have a twist in it. Maybe that's why it didn't bother me as much because I'm like, oh wow, he didn't do a twist. Thank God. So,
It wasn't his material, right? It was adapted like a book or something, or a novel, something like that.
yeah, something like that.
Yeah, that's probably why.
All right, let's see. So up next would be Meth Gator. No, I'm just kidding. That is actually next. I don't know if
Meth
anyone of y'all
Gator.
saw this. I don't think I saw it. Did anybody see No One Will Save You?
I did.
Thoughts about
Yeah, he
that one?
did.
'Cause I have not seen that one.
I think the CGI will definitely drive people crazy. Overall, like it's a very hard film to talk about without spoiling the ending. It's such a bizarre ending. Like, oh my God, it's really weird and left field and not what you would expect. It's something you've never ever seen done in a film. But I don't know if you ever would want to see something like that. I don't want to spoil it, but
Alien orgy.
That probably has happened before. Again, it's really hard to talk about. It's a lot of good suspense, I'll say. Some interesting use of character interaction and lighting and stuff like that. I think it's got good intent. It's well made enough for a Hulu movie, but the effects are very, very questionable. And that ending will probably keep it on some people's worst list, I think.
Fair
Okay.
enough.
I
So-
mean, it's one of those ending that, like, what you see is not actually what you're seeing. It's more of an allegory type thing. And not to say that allegorical endings can't be good, but it just, I don't know. I'll never watch it again. Put it that way.
Up next, baby, we got Forrest Good Luck, who then Pet Cemetery Bloodlines, if you will. I think we all loved it. We'd all give it 2 thumbs up and a must watch for David Duchovny stumbling through another film that looks like he's high on acid.
I still haven't seen Pet Cemetery Bloodlines. It doesn't sound like I'm missing much
No.
for what you
No.
guys said.
No.
A waste of good actors, I think. They didn't do shit with Pam Grier and anybody else that's in the movie.
No, they did. It was
That's a film that simply just does not need to exist. That's really all I'll say. There's nothing else to say.
Carter says he's hyped for the Crash commentary. I am too, actually. The David Cronenberg Crash commentary. It's coming up.
Oh, you
Can we talk-
seriously doing that?
That should be very interesting.
Yeah, we really are.
Oh, wow.
Why can't we talk about something we like on Christmas? Because nobody made anything we fucking like this past year. That's the problem. I can't help it. I didn't make these movies. I'm just reading off what they were.
It's a Black
Literally.
Christmas. What can you say?
It's weird though. Like the entire year, there's nothing. You said you don't like anything, but you like an Eli Roth movie.
That's
Thanksgiving.
true. That's very fucking odd. But here's another one that I kind of liked, but it kind of also sucked, mostly because of Aquafina. But the next one in alphabetical order will be Renfield.
Oh, I did
It had
enjoy that.
so much potential and just that was the big thing that killed it for me, was they had to have her in there for comic. They did not need that whatsoever.
I totally agree with that. I don't like the water. I don't like her. She should have gotten out of the movie. And I do like the other people. I like some of the gore. I like some of the action. I would say I still like Renfield, but yeah, she was easily the worst part, and she should not have been in the movie. It did not need her. Nicolas Cage was comedic enough, like
Yeah.
with the way he did it. You didn't
Yeah.
need. She sucks in everything, dude. I mean, go sell Aquafina water on the sidewalk along with your ass. Be my guest. Don't act anymore. Don't direct anymore. Or direct yourself into the unemployment line. How about that? Please. She sucks. She's never been good.
I think that movie had a good enough concept. It had 2 really, really good, solid actors in it. Unfortunately, it just, I don't know. It never really caught hold of what it wanted to do. Nicolas Cage is great in it. Nicholas Hoult is great in it. Aquafina and everybody else in it sucks. I can't believe that I have to say that there's somebody named Aquafina in it. Like, change your fucking name. If you're gonna do shit, change your name. Like The Rock did it. The Rock don't go around. He's not the fucking Rock now. He's Dwayne Johnson. So just change your name, Aquafina. It's not. You're not fucking cool. Anyway,
Exactly.
they made a Salem's Lot movie.
It has
Fucking
yet
Salem's Lot
to.
movie? It's not out.
Yeah, it has yet to come out, from what I
All
understand.
right. Then the next one would be Saw X.
Did you finish it?
Yeah. Yeah, I finished it.
Well, do tell.
I had mixed feelings about it because I feel like I was happy on the one hand that it didn't really focus on the mythology bullshit that like the last 8 movies focused on. It just kind of like tried to restart everything and break it down into like a simple kind of like plot where they had like all the doctors and shit, like people in the hospital chained up. And that was that was really the whole plot for the movie, with just a little bit of like the exposition stuff, sprinkled in there. So I was happy about that. I was happy about the fact that they kept most of it pretty simplistic and kind of like the traps were okay. I was unhappy about like the fact that they had Shawnee Smith looking like Winona Ryder and fucking, Reality Bites with that fucking awful wig. I was unhappy with and that it just didn't really seem to go anywhere, and there was quite a bit of CG and shit like that in it too. I don't know. I'm on the fence with that movie. Like if I had to rate it, I'd give it like a C.
Okay.
I don't know. What did you think, Mark?
I didn't mind it. It's the first one that I saw in theaters since I think like 3 or maybe 4. It didn't bother me as much. I know a lot of people hate that one, but from what I've seen online, even more people love it, and they are doing the next one next year.
Oh, yeah.
So, speaking on that though, I don't even know where they could go. I mean, I guess they could just keep it in the prequel territory and tell stories that way, but I think you're probably going to run out of stories to tell a lot sooner than later with that. But getting back to Saw X though, it was fine. I know what you mean with Shawnee Smith's hair. I kept looking at that the whole time. I'm like, something's not right.
It's as bad as like Daniel Harris's eyebrow. Like you're
You
fucking
keep looking at it.
Yeah, you're glued to it. You're just like, I get.
I thought Tobin Bell was good in it though. I'm glad he got a lot more screen time, and yeah, it's okay. It's just there. I mean, there's just nothing left to really do with that franchise. It was never supposed to be a franchise, not like this anyway, where they're on part 11, or they're about to be anyway. So they're kind of beating a dead horse in a way, but it could have turned out a lot worse, I think.
Yeah, I mean,
it was better than Spiral.
Yes, it was definitely better than Spiral. It was better than a lot of the Saw movies. Like once you get past Saw 3, especially, like those movies are awful. So it was better than a lot of those movies. I'll give it that. I agree with you though, Mark. I don't like that as a franchise anyway. I never did. Like I never liked those movies as a franchise. Like I never thought it made any sense. They turned it into like a fucking detective mystery story there. By the end of it, it's like I just don't feel like that's what those were supposed to be.
No, definitely not. I mean, there was a little bit of the element in that in the first film where they had the whole detective story aspect to it, but
yeah, but it turns into fucking CSI.
Yes,
literally like an episode of CSI.
That's what I always look at those films as. I mean, they're not really horror films. They're more so like gory crime thrillers, dark crime thrillers.
Yeah.
And there's
Merry Christmas, Scratch.
Merry Christmas. There's way too much of an emphasis on well, at least there was on all of the gore aspect. And then they kept trying to sprinkle in all the stuff with the detectives. If they had focused more on that and just leaned more into that, I think people would actually even embrace the franchise that much more, because there would have been those would have been characters that you cared about. I mean, I could name all the characters off, but I'm just nuts that way. And I'm not like a mega fan, but I just pay attention to the minutia of pretty much anything that I watch, somewhat incessantly, I'll even say. But like, it's just not a franchise, really. I mean, they're hanging their hats on too much of the gore aspect, or at least they were.
And part that got me about that movie, I guess, was when I found out that Constance Mandalore is going to be back in the fucking thing. And I was like,
What's your issue with him?
we don't need that fucking guy back in those. Do we need him back in those movies, really?
He's a fan
No.
favorite.
Eddie and the Cruisers looking motherfucker like back in those movies. No. Anyway, a fan
No, we
favorite.
don't.
Is he though, Mark? Is he
That's
really?
what they said. I
Yes.
said the same thing. Like, is he? A fan
I don't think
favorite?
he is. So you know what's next then? If we're going alphabetically, the next is Scream 6. So
Oh, mm.
I didn't hate Scream 6 as much as I hated Scream 5. That's the biggest compliment I can give that movie, really.
Mm.
Other than that, it sucked ass.
It was dog shit.
Prayed to God they'd stop making those movies, and they never ever will. I don't
There's
remember anything about it.
that-
As I sit here
Yeah.
and think about it, I remember him being on a subway in one part of it, and that's it. I don't remember another damn thing about that movie. Oh, I do remember the beginning. What's her name was in it, but that's only because like I'm a big fan of hers.
Oh, Samara Weaving. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So other
Oh,
than that,
yeah.
I have
Lovely.
no fucking clue.
Yeah.
But what about
did-
the scene that you thought RoboCop was going to come in? That grocery store scene.
That's right. Yeah, fucking comes in shooting people and shit. Yeah.
That movie is like the writing of the film. Okay, Mark, you're smarter than me. Maybe you explain this to me. The one, what's his name? The cop. He was in Young Gun. Dermot Mulroney, right?
Yeah.
Who's in everything?
He's
now,
related to this person who was a killer.
Mm-hmm.
Why did none of the cops know that Dermot Mulroney was related to this guy and not check on him and think, this guy is related to a guy who's a killer? I was like no one
That's-
ever thought of that. Like, and this girl went out with this guy and didn't know what her boyfriend's dad looked like for how many months or years they went out. Like she's
Yeah.
going out with the guy and doesn't know what her dad looks like. I mean, her boy. If you're
they-
going with someone, don't you know what your boyfriend or girlfriend's dad and family look like? After going out for a couple months or a year or so.
Yeah. Yeah. I that is a glaring plot hole. I know they're not going out that long in the fifth movie, but yeah, that is a big issue. I don't know how they could. Go ahead.
No, I was in that ending where it's like,
Yeah,
nothing
his
happened and
performance is
everything
terrible. No,
it's as bad as Hayden
Dermot
Panettiere.
Mulroney, yeah, he is, and I like him as an actor. He's in a lot of stuff I like, but man, what the fuck was that? He cannot play crazy. I guess maybe that's what it is.
see,
It was
he
so
did it in
awful.
Young Guns. I still remember the line in Young Guns where it's like, "We're in the spirit world, asshole. They can't see us."
Yeah.
It was so he
You
could
see
do
the
it,
size of
but
that chicken? Yeah, it's a great.
I don't know
scene.
what happened.
Yeah,
Maybe a bad
Uh,
script. You can't fix a bad script. Maybe
They
that's why.
they need to stop with the Scream shit, please.
yeah.
Slaughterhouse. I really wanted
Oh, I've heard of
the
that.
Killer Sloth movie, but I didn't get to see.
Heard of that,
Let's see.
yeah. God.
Well, Thanksgiving.
Enjoyed it.
Yeah, I
Enjoyed
think
that,
we all
bud.
liked it.
Loved it. Yeah. I can't even lie. It's probably my pick for best horror film of the year, if you can imagine how fucking insane that is. But if you look at the competition, like it's pretty easy to see why that is.
Yeah,
So yeah, Eli Roth directs a good film. Congratulations. Like I said, 20 years you've been making films. You make one that's fucking decent. It's about the best I can say for him. The Exorcist. Shit, I can't even say it. The Exorcist Believer.
I'm not a believer.
That was
I
the
looked at-
worst film
yeah.
I've seen in the year.
No, Skinamarink. Come on.
I mean, I don't even think I really consider Skinamarink to be a fucking film. Like,
That's
I
a
mean,
good
if
point.
it's classified as a film, though, then yeah, probably. But I don't. Whenever I think of Skinamarink, I just don't even think of it that way.
That's fair.
But like, I'll put it to you this way: of the ones I saw in the theater, of the mainstream films, that was by far the worst. And there are people trying to defend that movie now, and I'm just like, what are you doing? People that are like, oh, I didn't think it was that bad. I don't know what all the hate's about. It's like, really? You don't understand? Like,
It's the same
Yeah.
kind of people that probably haven't seen the original. I mean, that's what happened for Evil Dead Rise.
very
A
true.
bunch of my girlfriend's friends, they kept putting it over like it was the best thing ever. But I'm like, have you guys ever seen Evil Dead or Evil Dead 2? Or no, there's an Evil Dead 2. I'm like, oh my God. So
I completely skipped over that movie in this too, thank God.
oh yeah, that's
was
another
bad.
one that's awful. Yeah.
And people were like, I like the ending of it. I'm like, you did? Why? Like, what about it did you like? When the thing morphed into like the big thing creature from the John Carpenter, you like that? You thought that was good? That's part of the Evil Dead like mythology, and that's what they do, and you enjoyed that, huh? I don't
do
know.
now.
I don't know what goes through people's fucking brains.
They like that the Necronomicon translation is on vinyl.
Yeah,
That's
sure
what it
is.
Sure about Laserdisc. Sure about Laserdisc.
It's at what is it,
Well,
180
that's
gram shit. It's a good shit.
But that's just Believer. It's funny you mentioned that. I read an article the other day about that where I guess like what someone does is they listen to the commentary and then they list like things they learn from the commentary of Exorcist Believer. I remember reading stuff like one of David Gordon Green's inspirations somehow was, I don't even want to say it because it's an insult to this movie, Jacob's Ladder. He said it was an inspiration for the
Okay.
movie.
All right.
I don't
I
see
have no
that
idea.
at all.
Yep.
And that, what was the other thing? It's like, apparently, you know that scene where the guy finds his daughter wet the bed?
Yeah.
Originally, they shot it where it was feces, and the audience laughed. And then she
That would've
wrote the
been-
word mother. She wrote the word mother in shit on the wall.
Listen,
That
that would
would
have
have
put
been awesome.
put that movie over for me. I would have like loved that. Yep.
Oh man.
I guess in the early draft of the script, it was supposed to be 3 girls possessed, and not 2.
What?
So we missed that. We
Why
had
not
3.
make it a whole fucking band? Just a female punk band gets possessed by Pazuzu,
Yeah.
There you
start
go.
writing evil music, and like it possesses other people. There's a whole sideline you could go through with that. Yeah.
That's gonna be the sequel.
Yeah.
Pazuzu's gonna
That's the
possess
song.
the entire town. You
Yeah.
just watch.
And that's the song they sing, Pazuzu for you. That's
I
the
just-
fucking
I was
band
what-
song.
I watched that one scene not too long ago where it was like the scene where Ellen Burstyn gets stabbed in the eye is one of the funniest things ever because it's so stupid with that cross. I
Yeah.
mean, and talk about like
That
somebody,
movie-
you know, coming back from like 50 years to do that movie, and that's like your big scene. You know, they just that's the way that they treat like the legacy character. It's so fuck crazy to me.
Yeah, that movie was so discounted, Bobby Lane. I remember I was on here one time, and I for some reason kept calling her Ellen Barkin. It's Ellen
Yeah.
Barkin.
Yeah.
But that movie, like that scene you mentioned, like she don't go upstairs by herself with nobody around, and you don't think anything bad's gonna happen. When you, and she's like, well, what was the line she said about she was not in the first exorcism because of men or something? But that's not how
She
she said it. It was
mentions-
like
A
the-
patriarchy.
Yeah, the patriarchy. The evil patriarchy, if you will. Imogene Poots was taking on the patriarchy too, even before Ellen Burstyn, maybe. Imogene Poots said no to the fraternity of blood and the patriarchy in Black Christmas 2019.
Because I know you weren't
So-
invited because you were driving your ass blinded the back then. Went up and got stabbed in the eyes. You didn't have any backup, you idiot. Ellen Burstyn, Ellen Barker, whatever her name is. Ellen Burstyn.
She's rough in that film, though, man. She's it's hard to watch her in that film because there's no way she's coming back, especially not now. I'm sure, like
I hope not.
if she saw that movie, she's got to be like, God damn, I ain't come back for that. But I mean, even in the film, she's barely able to move. So,
Mm-hmm.
what is this? A woman employed as a website content moderator comes across a series of violent videos reproducing death scenes from a film. This is the Faces of Death
Oh,
remake.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Great.
We talked about that before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Good luck with that.
Yes, indeed, that is the drizzling shits. If it would be if we were ranking it, yeah, which we probably will at some point. It'll be in the drizzling shit.
Yeah.
He liked Evil Dead Rise, least favorite of the franchise, but he thought it was good.
I'll still put over Pope's Exorcist over Exorcist Believer. I'll say that.
It can't be any worse. There's no way.
Russell Crowe, whether you like him or not, is a lot of fun in that movie. He's playing like it's a buddy cop movie. The way he plays that, he must be like Martin Riz from Lethal Weapon in that movie.
That sounds great.
People in here talking about Imogene Poots. No shit. Her whole name is Imogene Gay Poots. That's her real name.
It's a progressive name.
It is. That's forward thinking.
The hell were her parents thinking?
I bet they called her Little Pooter. Hey Pooter, come over here.
Parents must really hate kids. Call your kid that.
So here's one that'll be divisive though that came out this year. I'm betting because it is an A24 flick, and it was probably it'd probably be in my top 5 of if I had to make a top 5 out of this bucket of shit.
Talk to me.
Talk to me. Yeah.
Oh God.
Which every time I think about Talk to Me, I just think of that Ace Frehley song. Nobody will know this song, but that's what I think about.
I think of foot sucking.
That one scene, yeah.
That scene killed it for Rambo right there. He's not into the foot play now. Leave him alone. Foot fetish.
I'm not Quentin Tarantino. I'm not in the feet. Tarantino's favorite movie.
Don't suck on his toes now. Come on. I liked it. Okay. I thought it was a decent take.
I just didn't understand the concept. Like, okay, I'm gonna go up. I'm gonna purposely get myself possessed. Why should I care if you live or die? You deserve to die for being so stupid. I don't get myself possessed. There's some views on YouTube. I mean, fine, die then. Get out of my gene pool, you idiot.
Yeah, I feel like I do agree with that. I feel like if somebody came up to me and they were like, "Hey, I've got this thing to where like you'll be possessed by a fucking spirit for a while. There's a possibility you can always be possessed by it if we fuck up." Maybe it's just my paranoid nature. I don't think I would trust people enough. Yeah, let's do it. Look at A.
It's totally believable given today's like climate
that's true.
Everybody sitting around recording and not helping when things did go crazy in the middle of the film.
Yeah,
I guess that would have been, is that Gen Z or whatever? I could totally see them doing shit like that. It's somewhat believable in that aspect, but I think I'm kind of in the middle. Like, I know you like it, UB, and then Matt, I know you hate it, but I'm somewhere in the middle where I think the acting is fine. That's one of the best parts about it. Those people were fairly unknown, at least to me. The acting really carries it along well, but there are certain moments throughout the movie that just, I question why they would draw attention to those things. Like, so for example, the moment where the guy stays possessed because they go over the time limit, the candle isn't blown out, and then later on you have a character say, well, we didn't blow out the candle. Well, it's like, so what are the rules then? Like, they established the rules early on, but it's like the candle's never going to get blown out. I mean, it's going to get blown out at some point anyway. Who cares if it stays lit a minute past them, like going past the timer or whatever? It just, when you start to question things like that and then you don't provide any answers to it, you're going to leave holes in your own story, and then that's where the audience is going to pick it apart. And for me, no film should defeat its own internal logic, and that film seems to kind of do that in certain moments, and that's what I have an issue with more than anything. I don't, the toe sucking and all that stuff, whatever, but just
Mark's fine with toe sucking, but now,
yeah, that's that's the new thing to do these days. We're all doing that, Matt. you gotta jump on board.
Suck on them toes.
I mean, okay, was that meant to be a scary scene or a funny scene?
I think he was meant to be scary.
Yeah,
honestly,
Okay.
yeah, probably, yeah, scary.
but it did come across as fucking comical because it's just something about sucking toes is not scary. Real quick, what do you think of the Arrow video release Tremors 2, man? I know you got that.
I still haven't gotten mine. I'm waiting.
Great.
What the fuck?
I've
been waiting for
your
weeks.
dealer messed up, man.
I know. They screwed me over.
Right here. Great. If you like the film looks great. It's a nice set from Arrow. It's got a book. It's got this is the 4K. Looks great picture quality. Didn't see any errors. Got a couple features. Quite a few features. Got commentaries. Got a couple interviews. None from the cast, but you got books. Yeah, if you like the film, if you like what Arrow Video did the first time with the first film, you definitely pick it up. Definitely, I really enjoy the movie. I'm glad Arrow. I never thought they would do it for the sequel. The first one made sense, but I'm glad they did.
I'm glad they did. Yeah,
So,
it's great.
yeah. Definitely
got
pick it up.
$5 super chat from Prestonburg Santa Claus. Didn't Russell Crowe narrate?
He did.
Yeah, narrate, baby. Narrate a WrestleMania video package to promote the Pope's Exorcist.
Wow.
Did he? I hope so. I had no idea.
I think he did. Yeah.
Oh my God. Was he like, is this Russell Crowe, mate, fighting around the world? WrestleMania. Oh, Jesus. All right, up next. Let's see. So we got through that. We got through that. We got The Last Voyage of the Demeter, which I did not see. Did anybody see that one?
Mm-mm.
Yeah. I'm not that familiar with the book. I know parts of it. It's okay. I didn't hate it. I think the opening of it, like the first half hour, will try the patience of many. But it's okay. I didn't hate it. I like the period piece aspect though a lot, but it's fine. It's cool effects.
And then this was Mark's favorite of the year by far, The Nun 2. Talk to us about that one, Mark. I know you loved it.
I have not seen The Nun 2.
Me either. Like, who the fuck wants to see The Nun 2? Who requested that there be a sequel to that? Never going to watch that. Let's pass that. The Outwaters. What a fucking piece of human excrement shit ass balls.
How was that?
The Outwaters is a movie.
Outhouse? What?
The Outwaters makes Skinamarink look like Citizen Kane. It's the same type of movie. It's the same kind of movie, except it's like shot on like one of those found footage kind of things where they find footage. But the problem is, like, the only part of the footage you can see is like somebody has a flashlight in the dark, and that's how much you can see. So there's like an hour that goes by of them just like of this person like shining a flashlight, and you can only see things kind of like come in and out of that light of that flashlight. So it's like Skinamarink, only I think it's kind of worse.
Is
in
there a
some ways.
story going on during this?
Well, the story is this group of fuckers goes out to this like I don't know what you call it, like a you know, like in Utah they've got all those dry ass lakes and stuff. I'm not sure what that's called,
Okay.
but they all go out there and like somehow or another they cross over this threshold, and it turns into where it was like a military testing zone, and they end up basically going into another reality where they are simultaneous salt flats. That's what they're called. Yeah. Where they're simultaneously kind of like picked off one by these like creatures that exist in this other universe. But like, you don't see any of this stuff. You just see this guy that has this flashlight, and sometimes these creatures run in and out and like do shit. And like, you get the impression of what's going on. So it's kind of like the Blair Witch meets Skinamarink meets Event Horizon. Like all those things put together, and it was awful. I hated every second of it. Like, if I had like a worst of, that would be in the top 5 worst of shit that I've had to sit through this year. A lot of people loved it, but a lot of people love to eat paint. So
Who loved it?
there's
the way you
people that
describe it.
there's people that champion that fucking movie, just like there's people that say Skinamarink made it on like top 10 lists of like the best horror films this year.
Yeah.
That's how like desperate things have got.
List.
There was one that I was looking at
Oh.
earlier. I'm trying to remember who it was. It might have been like Rotten. It might have been like Joe Blow or Rotten Tomatoes or one of those. But Skinamarink was like high up on
Okay.
the list.
All right.
Okay. Other than that piece of trash. So the Outwaters, the Pope's Exorcist, which you said you liked that one, Matt. I haven't seen that one. Let's see.
Yeah, it doesn't do. I mean, it's not original. I don't think there's anything to do original with exorcism movies, and I'm like, oh, whatever. But like I say, it's Russell Crowe is what made the film for me. He played it like he was in a buddy cop film. He's cursing. He don't give a shit. He's having a time of his life. There's another younger priest. It really is like a buddy movie. That's why I liked it, and it was less the exorcism stuff. It was more Russell Crowe just having a time of his life and saying, "Fuck it, you give me this paycheck, we're gonna go for it."
They gave
Was
me
it
this
sort
money.
of like that performance in that movie where he was like a crazed serial killer or whatever? It's Unhinged. Was that what it was? From 2020?
Oh yeah. If he was a good guy,
Okay.
like he was
Cool.
actually rather good in it.
Yeah. 'Cause I liked Unhinged, but yeah, that's one
He
most
wasn't
people need to check out.
Yeah, he wasn't sleepwalking through. I'll give you that. That's what I appreciated.
Okay.
Variety had Skinamarink as the #1 horror film of the year.
Number 1.
Fucking
Yeah.
Okay.
Totally Killer.
You saw that. I didn't see that.
The movie was totally killer.
No problems with it. Loved it.
He says
number
about
one.
time travel was in
Yep.
it.
Yeah.
Well,
Yes.
one me and Mark saw, we like called Sick. Kevin Williamson wrote it.
Yes.
It was like a group of. It was during the pandemic, and people were kind of quarantined, and then there's a killer, and just the way he was written, and it becomes pretty much one long chase scene. But it was kind of interesting how they did it. It kept a nice momentum to it. So
yes, somehow he managed to keep the tension moving, and the film just flows, and it never really slows down, and it's just fun throughout. It's a really great cat and mouse aspect where if you take like the final act of Scream, where once the killer shows up in the house and he's chasing Sydney for like, I don't know, like 20 minutes or something. If you take that and then like expand it and make it even longer, that's kind of what you get. The same sort of sensibility from that kind of cat and mouse stuff between a killer and the victim or would be victim.
That's pretty. Yeah, it was pretty decent, I thought.
Yeah, really, really fun.
VHS 85. Did either of y'all see that?
Yes.
I'm not ever
Probably
watching any of those fucking movies again. I just want y'all to know that.
The best segment in that is the last one, which is Scott Derrickson's segment. And it's got what's the guy from Planet Terror, the lead, Freddy Rodriguez. He's the lead detective. And the way Derrickson like approached it was really cool. It is somewhat of a slasher element in a way, but the crimes like haven't happened yet. So like the murders are like projected onto VHS tapes, but they haven't happened yet. So Freddy Rodriguez is trying to like pinpoint when and where they're going to happen exactly, but he's like a moment or a step or two behind the killer each time. It's really, really fun. I think that's the best one in there for sure. There's another one that's really good too, like in the middle. And I think this was the first time that they did this with any of the VHS films. They connect the first story to the third story. So it's kind of like a two-parter. That one's really interesting. It's going to sound ridiculous, but it's actually the second part is awesome. So it's a bunch of friends go to a lake and there's something in the water that makes them, I don't even know how to describe it, I guess immortal. And so they're being killed by someone that's like hidden in like the woods by a sniper rifle. So they all come back, they don't die, and they all decide to get revenge. But you don't see the revenge portion. It just skips to the next story, and then in the third chapter, you get the conclusion of everything. And it's a really like unique all out like shootout and just crazy bloody battle. I don't want to spoil it anymore because it's so cool, but yeah, I would say if you're going to watch it, watch the first, third story, and then Scott Derrickson's. The other ones are just meh.
All right.
Thing with that, I didn't see that one. The last two of those I saw was really rough though, of the VHS movies, the last two or three, and I'm like, I don't know why I keep watching these damn movies.
Me either. Like I kind of gave up on them after a while. But okay, so that's really it though in terms of like the movies. There's a couple that I didn't cover there, but that's the main ones that came out. What I want to do now is share my screen to show you this depressing fucking highlight, and then we will get off here and go enjoy Christmas because it's almost Christmas, bulls. I don't know if y'all are aware. It's literally 5 minutes until Christmas. This is my Wikipedia research for the day.
No.
Let's see. See if I can make this bigger. So this is a list of the top films of 2023. Barbie is number one, 636 million. Domestic, Super Mario Brothers, 574. Spider-Man, 381. Guardians of the Galaxy, 358. Oppenheimer, 326. The Little Mermaid, and Ant-Man and the Wasp. Really, I thought that movie fucking bombed, but apparently not.
It did compared to how much it cost.
John Wick 4, Sound of Freedom, and then the Taylor Swift fucking movie. No. Of all those movies on that list, that's the top 10 of the year. What would be your favorite?
Still have to see Oppenheimer.
That would probably be it for me.
Me too. There's nothing in there that's even close, really.
No.
I still gotta see that one.
Oh, that is just
I'll admit I liked Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse as a visual. I liked it. It was a really beautiful looking movie, just visually dynamic. It's a good visual experience at the very least. And I grew up with that character, and I think they're better than the live action movies. So that and the first one was actually pretty good. And you know me, I'm tired of superhero movies, but those actually worked really well.
Mm-hmm.
But not Little Mermaid, no.
House Party.
Barbie, no.
Did you see that too? I was like, what?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh, apparently
Where
that
they're
came
staying at
out.
LeBron James. They're staying at LeBron James' place. That's the plot of the
Holy
movie.
Shit. Like,
And then White Man Can't Jump, wasn't that this year, the remake?
Yeah,
probably.
yeah.
Yeah.
You people. There's you people in there.
Oh God.
80 for Brady.
This-
God damn. there's
You
a lot
people
of-
with the CGI kiss for some reason.
Yeah.
Creed 3.
Because apparently Jonah
Rambo, there you
Hill-
go.
Which one?
Creed 3.
Didn't
Oh,
mind
man.
it.
The Children of the Corn. I forgot about that one.
This is like
Oh.
every film that's
Yeah.
come out by month.
One I saw recently that was pretty good this year. It's The Holdovers with Paul Giamatti.
Did you
That
watch
one's
that,
kinda like-
Rambo?
Which one?
Did you see Holdovers?
Yeah. With Paul.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that
did
was
too.
good.
Yeah, I liked it too. I didn't expect to like it, but that one took me by surprise. Yeah. It reminded me of like an old Robin Williams movie or something, like fucking, I don't know, like Dead Poet Society
Dead
or
Poet
something
Society.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or kind of like a bit of Good Will Hunting.
Something like that. Yeah. Had an
Yeah,
interesting
that was a good one.
tone.
Alexander Payne, for those other, he did Sideways and others. He directed that. That's a good one for those who like drama comedies. It's a really good one.
Lord have mercy, Lord. There's some good ones came out this year, though. Look at that.
All that quality entertainment.
Just dozens of
Yeah,
excellent.
a few that I did
Film.
like. I did like Distraction too. I think for an
Fast-paced.
action film, that was pretty fun.
Okay, wait. Before you keep scrolling, I just
Yeah.
saw one that's interesting. Have you
Okay.
guys seen the Robert Rodriguez, Ben Affleck starring Hypnotic, the film Hypnotic?
Right
Have you
here?
guys seen that?
No.
Okay.
Didn't it bomb?
Everyone said it was
really, really
awful.
bad.
Yeah,
I'm not even sure. Did it?
I think
it did bomb.
Okay.
It got trashed by like everybody.
Wow. I was hoping that might be his return to form, but I guess not.
Nobody has a return to form this year, apparently, except Eli Roth.
That's
No.
fucking sad. Yeah.
Apparently, Ja Woo did it, and Robert Rodriguez did, but Eli Roth did. What kind of year is 2023? That's the year in a nutshell, I guess.
That was, oh god, that
There you go.
fucking movie. So
There you go.
bad.
That wasn't on the horror list. The Blackening.
That's an interesting one. God is a bullet. That's
Is
a
that right
interesting.
here? Yeah.
Yeah. It's Nick Cassavetes,
Oh, this, yeah, that would be then. Yeah.
Maika Monroe, Jamie Foxx. Interesting film. I would love to see the fucking uncut version if they ever put the damn thing out.
There's the best film of the year right there. Indiana Jones and
No.
the Dial of Destiny.
205-year-old Harrison Ford trying to do stuff, and it just didn't pan out.
Joyride, which was not the Joyride I was thinking it was. I thought it was going to be a remake of that fucking Paul Walker movie. It was not, though.
No.
So Barbie and Oppenheimer right here, probably like that's the whole
And
year.
Cobweb got thrown out in between the release of those films, and that movie never had a chance. Shame on you, Lionsgate, for doing that.
Haunted Mansion. They made another fucking Haunted Mansion movie. I don't even remember that.
Yes, for some reason. And it bombed.
There you go, Rambo. Release of the year.
Oh my god. Yeah, if you want to see one of them twerk his ass and April O'Neil puked, Seth Rogen. That stupid guy, man. He wrote that damn movie for some reason. Because when I think of that, I think of Seth Rogen, yeah. Mikey twerking his ass for some dumb reason.
Blue Beetle. That's one that just kind of
Oh
came
my
and went
God.
too.
If you want to see him ride a giant robot beetle and have a scene where it farts, be my guess.
That's what I live for.
You're in it to win it.
Equalizer 3, The Nun 2. No.
Oh, Expendables 4,
No.
of course.
Yep.
That
Big
fucking
fat
movie.
Greek wedding.
They made a third one of these for some reason.
I didn't know they made a third one of that.
Spindles 4. There it is. Yep.
That with the great tagline, "They'll die when they're dead." I don't know what the hell that means. That's the tagline. They'll die when they're dead. Explain that to me.
So, yeah, we're coming to the end of this list completely. Thank God.
Anybody
Man.
see Dark Harvest, the David Slade
No.
movie?
Right here.
Mm-mm.
I need to watch that. And I actually need to watch that When Evil Lurks again because I never got through it and people are fucking talking that up like it's the greatest thing ever.
Mm.
So, I
Oh,
need
The
to watch
Killer
that.
was fantastic. David
Okay.
Fincher.
Hmm.
That was a great one.
Oh, where'd you see that at? Oh, right here?
Yeah, right there.
I didn't even know that came out.
Yeah, Andrew Kevin Walker did the screenplay. Very solid film. I'd recommend that one for
Right
sure.
here, though, is the best writing you're going to see all year.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Come on.
Yeah, Nia DaCosta, who did the shitty Candyman remake.
I want to see this one too because I just have a feeling I'm going to like that
Oh, yeah. Dream Scenario.
with
Yeah.
Nicolas Cage. Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, that did look interesting.
It's a Wonderful Knife. I don't have any interest in watching that.
William B. Davis.
I know Mark didn't like It's a
Look,
Wonderful
yeah,
Night.
good-
Night.
Good burger too.
God.
What? Okay. Fair enough.
Napoleon looked really boring.
This movie's making a fortune right now, apparently. Like when I looked at this, I thought this looks like the biggest waste of time. But apparently, Timothy Chalamet, Shamading Dong is doing great in it. I don't know.
Really?
It just looked awful to me though. Then there's Chicken Run, Dawn of the Nugget, which is classic. Oh God. Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. I can't believe Amber Heard's back in that fucking movie.
From what I heard, they tried the best they could to cut her out completely.
Did they remake Color Purple? What
That's
the
right.
fuck?
They did, sir.
Yeah.
What?
You're missing out. You haven't seen that yet?
No. I can't do it anymore. Fucking movies.
What a great year.
God. Okay. So if you had to pick a favorite film of the year in any genre, what would you pick before we get off here?
Hmm.
Fuck me.
That's really tough.
I guess I would go with. I guess Extraction 2. I do like the first one. I like those kind of action movies.
Mm-hmm.
It has some really good action sequences in it. It does have some flaws, but I guess Extraction 2, I guess, would be my pick. But there's not really a film I love. There are films I like or I didn't mind. So I guess I would pick that for number one.
I'd say Fincher's The Killer.
Hmm.
I'd probably go with that.
I'm honestly going to say that it would probably either be Holdovers, which I was completely fucking taken aback by how good that movie was. Or I'm not going to say Thanksgiving. I mean, Thanksgiving was okay, but it's not. I mean, it's
right.
It's a good slasher film. It's not the best film of the year. Probably Oppenheimer or The Holdovers. It's going to be one of those two for me.
Hmm.
Oppenheimer I saw in the theater. I don't know if I would have had as good of a reaction to it if I didn't see it in the theater. It's a movie
Yeah.
that's made to be seen in the theater, really.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah,
lot of
that's
people-
probably the best movie of the year, I'd say.
Guardians 3 was the only Disney film that wasn't a disappointment box office wise.
God, I'm looking at horror films of 2024. Jesus. Alien Romulus,
Get ready for it. y'all.
Beetlejuice 2,
Get ready to love it. Beverly
A
Hills
Quiet
Cop
Place
4.
Day 1.
They're making another one of those movies. They need to stop that shit too.
They have to do the prequel.
Yeah, Day 1, A Quiet Place. Imaginary, that's the Killer Teddy Bear movie. Night Swim, that's the Killer Haunted Pool movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Smile 2,
Can't wait.
The Crow remake with Bill Skarsgård.
That guy. Fuck.
Wait.
The First Omen, which I thought the First Omen was the First Omen, but apparently there's a first Omen.
That's right. That wasn't the first. This is the first.
They're trying to like.
When-
How are they? There's some of these movies will never be a franchise. The Omen will never be a franchise. The Exorcist will never be a franchise. You can't make a franchise out of these fucking movies. Please stop trying to remake them.
And the rest is just like Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2, the remake of Witchboard by Chuck Russell. I feel bad, Chuck Russell.
Mhm.
That's all he could get. And The Strangers Chapter 1, Rennie Harlan joint.
Which they just
Jesus.
announced the release date for chapter 1. I think it's May 2024. So mark it down.
Oh, and of course Mutilator 2, which they're searching for distribution. So get on that.
The fucking
The
music.
movie
There
looks
you
like
go.
it was made like the way that we made On the Roads back in about 2008. That's the quality of that movie. The way it looks. So, okay. It's not been a stellar year. I think we can all agree.
No.
In any genre. I mean, you really had to search for films that had any kind of fucking substance to them this year.
Did either of you guys see Killers of the Flower Moon, the Scorsese movie?
No, I wanted to, but I haven't had a chance to watch it yet.
Oh boy.
Is that 2.5 hours long or 3.5 hours long?
I think it's like 3.5. I think.
Everything these fuckers make nowadays have to be over 3 hours long.
It
or it's
felt
not.
insanely long. It's a great movie, great performances. I don't know how often I'll ever watch that movie though.
I need to watch Past Lives. It was my number one this year. Yeah, throw out some number ones that other people have here in the chat real quick.
Is that the romance movie? You're talking about that romance drama that came?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. It wasn't for me.
He could be yanking our dicks, but I don't know.
I don't know if are you being serious?
Listen, how
Let me know in the
dare
chat.
you
Want to know.
judge his taste in movies?
It's just not what I expected to see.
That's the A24 joint.
Oh, you know it's good then.
It's got Greta Lee, Tay Yao, and John Magaro in it.
Oh, he's being serious. Okay.
Yeah.
That movie that's cool you like it. I thought it was boring as shit.
Listen, I need you to really tell him.
It's probably if he likes it. I just thought it was boring as shit. I've seen the film.
What else? Anybody got anything else? You have to like something this year. Everybody's on here like saying, "Oh, get to the stuff that you like. Don't talk about the motherfucker." What has there been to like? Like I'm trying really hard to make chicken salad out of chicken shit here, but it's really difficult.
I mean, we put over Oppenheimer. That was probably the absolute best. My personal favorite for best would be either that or The Killer, one of the two. I'd probably watch The Killer more often though. but that's just me.
Well, yeah, I would say this year films I liked was The Holdovers. It stretched into Guy Ritchie's The Covenant with your favorite Jake Gyllenhaal in it.
Yeah.
I thought Guy Ritchie did a
Sorry.
good job. Pulp's Exorcist. Mario Brothers was fine for what it was. I've seen much worse. Renfield I liked. Creed 3, I actually didn't mind that compared with the first two. And Sick, that was another one. Was it Sisu, that action movie, or was that? Not sure that was this year. If so, I liked that. That was another foreign action movie. So yeah, I did like those.
All right. Well, the chat is apparently like either down or nobody can think of any movie that they liked. There's nothing like nobody knows.
Oh, Megan, fucking Megan.
Megan came out the first of the year. I remember that, like January,
Yeah.
sometime in January.
Oh yeah, it did.
I don't want to hear nobody bullshit about Megan. I don't want to hear no bad, negative talk about Megan. Now, y'all, knock it off.
That TikTok, TikTok
No.
dancing bitch.
So Scratch Bruno says Poor Things and American Fiction were good for Law and Order.
Haven't
That's-
heard of those.
That's at least something.
Mark, your life past lives
Yeah,
as a fine Asian lead.
What?
I didn't know
Yeah,
Mark's.
We know, like, you're into that shit.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
of course. Who isn't?
Of course,
Eduardo.
the Iron Claw. Yeah.
Yeah, it says Godzilla -1 and the Iron Claw. The Holdovers. That's yep.
It's a good one. The Iron Claw, if I see it, would probably. I have a feeling that'd be in there. It's just
Yeah.
too interesting of a story.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's just straight to the point. The Guy Ritchie's The Covenant was the only good film that came out this year. Damn.
Wow.
Yeah, I did like that one. I did like that one. It was a guy saving his interpreter in Afghanistan. Yeah, I didn't mind that.
Oh wow. Alfa Romero says, as a film fan, I'd give Iron Claw a 6, and a wrestling fan, I'd give it a 2. Damn.
Yeah. I'd be curious what he means by as a wrestling fan. I mean, I know we got to get off here, but I'm just curious. Like, what was it as a wrestling fan you didn't like to give it a 2? Curious about that.
Yeah, I've seen nothing but people putting it over big time. So I don't know. I don't know what he means.
Did anybody see the other Guy Ritchie film this year, Operation Fortune?
Was that the Jason Statham film that got delayed? If so, no, I didn't see it.
It has
Because like the company, I think the company was releasing it went belly up or something.
I think that's the one he's talking about. That's Josh Hartnett, Carrie Elways as well in that.
I
Yeah.
didn't see that.
It's fine. I mean, I've liked a lot of his stuff more recently versus some of the stuff in the past. I know a lot of people really put over all of his older stuff, but I mean, I just don't mind the stuff he's doing lately. I know you're not a Statham fan, or is that CK?
That must be CK. I don't really have a bad issue with Statham, though.
Okay.
Not like Maggie Gyllenhaal or anything.
Okay. Okay.
Piece of
Yeah, I
trash.
mean, that was fine. I mean, and even further back, what was it? Wrath of Man. Thought that was fine. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I like his stuff. So
He says they really missed a lot. They made Flair look like a jobber, and Chris Von Erich was completely omitted from the film, among other things.
Okay.
I've heard about this one quite a bit too this year. Living, which stars Bill Nye, was so boring I fell asleep in the theater. Right? They changed a lot of stuff, and there's a lot of messed up timelines. That's why a lot of people are upset about Iron Claw. Bobby says Transformers Rise of the Beast is his favorite of the year. Godzilla minus one was great, but you gotta like Godzilla, which I don't, so I probably won't fucking like it. The only thing worse would be is if it was Godzilla, but if Godzilla was played by fucking Jake Gyllenhaal. That'd be like my nightmare.
And King Kong will be Tom Cruise.
Yep. And
It'll
then
be
Mothra would be Maggie Gyllenhaal.
Maggie, yeah.
Just flying around with her big fucking hand, spitting fire at people.
What?
What is it?
Can you even put that up?
No, I don't think I can. If you're talking about the prehistoric Santa Claus.
I
don't know if he's
no
being
way.
serious or that's a joke.
That's got to be a joke. There's no way.
That'd be killer. That was All right, guys. I'll have to head off here though. But listen, Merry Christmas because it's Christmas now. I hope that you
Merry
all
Christmas.
have fun.
Merry
I appreciate you all getting on here on Christmas Eve. Mark, Rambo. I know you all got shit coming up, but it's Christmas, so there's probably not going to be a lot coming out for a while. So I just wish you guys the best. I hope you have a good one. I'm going to get off here. In terms of shit that we got coming up, I don't know. Fuck it. Go on the YouTube channel. I don't know what it is. I'm sure there's something on there. Oh yeah, Jay Real has a Christmas show tomorrow that we need to hype up. That he's actually going to be like opening some gifts and shit like that some people have sent him. And I go over the YouTube channel. I can't remember what time that starts, but that ought to be pretty cool. So there's actually a Christmas show going on. Year in review show, I'm sure we're going to do, but it'll probably be some new variation on that theme. So we'll see. But for Dead Pit Radio and Stuntman Mark and Rambo Raff, like I'm Uncle Bill signing off. And you all have a wonderful Christmas. Happy New Year's, Kwanzaa. What are some of the other ones? Hanukkah.
Is Passover a thing?
Is whatever they do.
What?
So yeah,
As Smokey Robinson would say, Happy Chinooka.
right.
There was a Jim Cornette cameo he heard, and he didn't. Smokey Robinson apparently didn't know what Hanukkah was, so he said Happy Chinooka.
Happy Chinooka. So yeah. So y'all have a good one. See y'all
later.
Give us the thumbs up,
off you butts.
like, subscribe, and if you subscribe, here's something else you can do. Once you subscribe, you can click the bell notification, right? And it'll notify you anytime that Dead Pit puts up new shit.
Or don't. I really don't give a fuck.
I want you to. I don't care. Let's keep our community growing here on YouTube.
I don't like it. I don't want you to do nothing.
Listen, they need to do that.
No, don't you dare touch it.
Thumbs up. Subscribe. And click that bell.
There's all kinds of wonderful shirts over at shop.deadpit.com. Simply the best horror shirts. On TeePublic, there are others, but they all suck. You can get some Dead Pit Radio shirts. You can get Last South on the left. The Hills Have Eyes. Texas Chainsaw. Oh, wait, you can't say Texas Chainsaw. All kinds of shirts, folks. You're gonna love them. Shop.deadpit.com.
Thank you to all of our supporters on Patreon. Dead Pit on Patreon.com is the only place to check out a complete archive of the old Dead Pit radio shows all the way back from 2005 on, in addition to the midweek shows, fan commentaries, exclusive podcasts, and much more. Dead Pit on Patreon.com if you're interested. Tiers start at only $1.